up, y'all? It's the Sports Mix. Big Kenny.
Yeah.
Checking in. My man Dino in the building. What's up, brother?
All right now. All right.
Well,
Been better Sundays, but
well, you know, we know how it is after L's.
yeah,
The beer don't taste the same. Fried chicken don't seem like it's seasoned right.
yeah, yeah,
You know, the ice cream melted. Anything that can go wrong went wrong. Ravens took an L today, first one of the season. This was an ugly game. Outside of the first series, they marched down the field, looked like it was going to be, one of them days for starters anyway. And then here we go. The turnovers, the fumbles.
yeah,
Yeah, just got away from them quick. And then again, the defense, man, they bend. They don't break. They don't give up touchdowns. They give up one touchdown, and a lot of field goals. So you know,
yeah, yeah.
a lot of field goals a day. And that kick, I mean, we had four 50 yarders, 450 plus yarders,
Boy, over 50. Yeah,
and Mr. Reliable missed. He missed 102.
he missed that 61 yarder. I'm not sure if he missed another one or not.
Yeah, I know he missed the one. You know, I think he missed one last week too, though.
Yeah, he
He
missed the
missed a long one last week.
yarder. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So we got the first L. So what's your overall? What you think about the game today? The effort, all that.
Yeah, I think a lot of when you're talking about the NFL, a lot of times the final score is going to be connected to whoever win the turnover game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Ravens. I mean, Kenyon Drake, huge fumble as they were
Yeah.
driving on that
Yeah.
second drive. Looked like they were ready to take that thing on into the end zone, and uh, he lost the ball. That was a huge fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar again being real careless with the football. He loses a fumble. That's he definitely got to get better there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we forced did we? We didn't force any turnovers, did we?
Nah. Nope.
No. So
Nope.
2-0 in the turnover category, and they did convert those turnovers into some points. I know. So a game that the Ravens, despite the way they played, they still had a couple opportunities to win the game. Big uh, Justin Tucker coming up a little bit short,
Mm-hmm.
61-yard field goal, and Isaiah Likely with a huge drop.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
that was the game. He could have won the game right there with that one.
Yep.
So yeah, but very entertaining. Had you on the edge of your seat, and um, despite all the injuries, I think maybe 7 starters or something was injured. I
Yeah.
mean, you still have to throw that into the mix. So overall, um, still, I think we expected the Ravens to win. They came up a little short, um, but yet and still they played hard, and very entertaining game.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. I mean, you try to eliminate the injury excuse, but it is what it is. And we said it from day one, man. Injuries are just a part of football. You have to build your team accordingly. Now you talking about 7 starters. That's tough for anybody to overcome. With I don't care who your backup, so that's tough to overcome that many injuries in one game. But again, it's part of it. You gotta next man gotta step up, and you gotta make do with whatever you have. So um with all that said, you still a play or two away from even pulling this thing out. You know what I'm saying? It was a play or two either way that could have won or lost this game. And unfortunately for the Ravens, we came up on the short end. What's up, my man Thaddeus? Let me say here. Let me make sure I can read this comment. Despite the loss, it wasn't a conference loss. Yeah, I mean, you gotta take
Good point.
the good, with those with every loss. So we got two conference wins. I mean, two division wins. Um, with beating. Well, we got one division win, right? No,
One Cincinnati, yeah.
no, just Cincinnati. Okay, okay. So we want to know in the division. Um, which is always good. Cincinnati was 0-2 in the division, so you got some things going your way. Um, it just was a game. You want to win these type of games just because the Colts. They got a backup quarterback in the game. And Gardner Minshew. Uh, their starting quarterback Richardson is out hurt, so you want to take advantage of that. Even though Minshew is a 25 game starter in this league, it's not like he just a career backup. He got some starts in this league, and he's had some success in this league. So you gotta really stay on his neck, and that's one thing that's really hurting us right now. I think is that pass rush. We're not getting to the quarterback seemingly at all. I mean, we get to him with blitz packages and things like that, but that front four really not putting a lot of pressure on them quarterbacks so far. So it's still early. It's only 3 games in, so it's still a lot of season left. But for sure that pass rush has got to improve. And I'm just talking about the front four, not even talking about blitzing and all those things. Just the front four got to get better. You know, and it seemed like the Colts was pretty dialed in because they were putting heat on Lamar all day. Making him rushing passes and got sacked a couple times. In crucial situations. So we got to get to. I don't know what the combination of players is going to be. It ain't like you can go out and just cherry pick something right now that's going to improve the pass rush. So I think that's an area where if especially with our injuries on the back end, our defensive backs that's out, the pass rush got to get better. You know what I'm saying? It got to get better. And like we got 2 division games coming back to back, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Back to back weeks. So, you know, whatever adjustments need to be made in practice this week, whatever uh personnel moves got to be made just to make those improvements and on that end of the field. Because like I said, defense is playing solid. They don't give up touchdowns. They just get to the quarterback, make it a little easier, or add to the chaos you already causing on the defensive end. But pass rush is real glaring for me. I like to see him get some more pressure on these quarterbacks and force them into some mistakes, especially when you got a backup quarterback in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely I second that, and I do want to point to, you know, I mean, this dude Kyle Hamilton
Yeah,
had a game.
yeah, he's a monster.
He had 3 sacks. I mean, the guy was all over the field, covering people, making tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Obviously, this dude, man, was an exceptional pick. I remember when he got selected, a lot of people kind of scratching their head,
Mm-hmm.
and but the Casa didn't miss with this guy. And one of the big things coming into the season, I was wondering whether Kyle Hamilton was going to go back to the more conventional safety play alongside Marcus Williams back there, or was he going to stay in that hybrid position that he played last year so effectively? I mean, he's around the ball, he's in the mix all the time, and they seem to have played him more there in this game than they did the first 2 games.
Yeah.
So he's extremely effective there. Clearly, man, this guy is straight up a dog. So shout out to him for a sensational game.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to give the Colts credit. I think they did some things Their front seven is pretty active, pretty strong. They can get pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Real physical. Um, on offense, I think the fact that uh, the fact that the young fellow who I really wanted to see play Richardson,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I think them having what's the guy named Minshew
Minshew, yeah.
having Minshew in as quarterback probably helped the Colts a little bit more than maybe even if Richardson had played the rookie quarterback. So and
Mm-hmm.
was able to keep that poise, stay in that pocket. Um, the Ravens had ample opportunity to close this game out, particularly when they had the guy in the end zone. He stepped out the end zone.
Yeah.
Right there, man. To me, that was it, man. We should have closed that game out, but they weren't able to. And again, you got to give the Colts a lot of credit. I give their head coach a lot of credit. I think that they handled the time management, the clock management part down the end of the game really well,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of Harbaugh's clear weaknesses. He's never been able to handle clock management, and he didn't do well this game either. Going
Right.
stretch, they punt the ball to us with like 2 minutes left. We get it. First of all, Zay Flowers didn't return it when he had space and could have ran the clock down a little more. Uh, we get the ball with like 2:03 or whatever, and they get it back with 1:48.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how
Mm-hmm.
did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but again, giving the Colts some credit for coming into Baltimore and playing strong. But I'm not totally disappointed in the Ravens. It would have been a great opportunity to go up with 3 wins. You go up 3-0 right now. The Ravens probably could go 500 for the rest of the year and still may make the playoffs if
Mm-hmm.
3-0. But this is the NFL, and you can lose on any given Sunday.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I looked at this some of the I see Zay Flowers had the one something that looked like they had the he was lined up the wrong way or something. I saw Lamar getting on him about something. You had Likely with the drop pass. That was crucial in a crucial spot. That would have gave him a first down.
Yeah,
Would have gave him the opportunity to be in field goal range at that time. A couple run plays. You know, get the kicker in there. Let's get up out of there.
yeah,
But Likely who we've seen that has some talent. We know that he has some talent.
yes,
He's showing us that he can play. Now I guess it's the mental part for him to gain that consistency. Because he can now he's dropping balls pretty regular this year. Right from game one, he's dropping passes that he should right in his hands. As a matter of fact,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So uh, it's just when you get opportunities, you know what I'm saying, especially at this level, you just gotta take advantage of it. You know what I mean? You gotta take advantage of it and really like you say, win this game, put this game out of reach. It was a couple times where the safety again that was big. Because of off of a punt. The special teams man, he punted, he pinned them down inside the 5. You thinking if the defense hold, we gonna get the ball back around midfield somewhere. You know, Fortunately, we didn't have to get to that. They stepped out, got the safety. So on the return, and I think that's the one where you said Zay Flowers, he returned that one correct,
yeah.
and he just didn't even advance it. And that could be inexperience too.
Sure.
Because I mean, I'm sure he returned punts before in college maybe, but here, understanding the situation, understanding what you need, and just really really understanding the team. We're not getting in the end zone. We're not. You remember. Once upon a time, when we had that guy Ed Reed, used to just insert himself in on a punt or what I'm saying, that we need to play right here. I'm making the play.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to say we need a Ed Reed type. That's asking a lot. But you do need somebody that in the crunch time wants that ball. When it's time to make a play, you want somebody on that sideline to say, "Put the ball in my hand." Now I know Lamar Jackson is that guy. When the lights are on, he wants the ball in his hand. I know that, but it got to get to the point where Zay Flowers, a Duvernay. I mean, he's back there most of the time anyway. In games like this, where you see your offense not really clicking, you got to have somebody, man, say, you know what, it's go time. Give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? Let me do what I do. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know who that guy is. I know OBJ on offense. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. He wants the ball when the lights are big. Uh, you know, it's times like that though. You need like a defensive back, the DB that's going to just make a play, or somebody on the special teams that just can make a play. And we depend on Tucker, but Tucker is human. He's human, man, and he had a few misses at some long range attempts,
Yeah.
but he's human. He's human, man, and I just think teams that win, teams that win in November, December, January, they are efficient at all phases. You know what I'm saying? At all phases. So, you know, and we call football the ultimate team sport. So it's at times like that when when your offense is not really lighting it up, and they haven't had a big game yet. It's only game 3, but we haven't seen the offense take fire. Like we expect them to, or at least what we thought that they would do. We haven't seen that yet. So it's just times like this, man. You need somebody else to step up. You need a Ed Reed type safety, and you had a Kyle Hamilton played a hell of a game today. He played a hell of a game. Didn't get the turnovers, but he made some huge plays. Um, but we need that guy. We need that guy, and so maybe, man, with Humphrey and all them guys, I don't know what the status is on guys getting back. But hopefully, if we ever get to the point where we had them guys, then what was the other guy we let go? Marcus.
Okay. What got injured?
No, the cornerback, Marcus Peters.
Oh yeah, Peters. Yeah.
Peters was a playmaker. He's the type of guy that would go make a play. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's early. It's only the 3rd game, so it's like to see. But just after a loss, everything kind of seems a little bit more, a little more cringeworthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's one loss. We know that these two division games coming up next are going to be huge for this team. So, um, you know, yeah, yeah, just everything just a little bad today, a little bad taste in my mouth today. You know, them chicken wings just don't seem like they got enough seasoning on them today or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
Might have had to go heavy with the hot sauce today. I don't know.
that's how it is. You take that L. Especially when the game is winnable, and then you're on your home turf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Uh, that's a good point. They're trying to make Flowers that guy. They get that ball to him. They throw. It seemed like they throw it to him more than anybody. Where before it was Mark Andrews. Now it seemed like they're trying to get that ball to Flowers a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with that. But again, this offense, there was no OBJ. There was no, Dobbins is done. Uh, Ronnie Stanley was not there. McCarr gave up a pretty blatant sack.
Yeah, yeah.
Guy got around him on that play, So, um, you know, football, man, brings out the emotion in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a highly emotional sport, and we take these losses hard, and on the other end of the spectrum, we take them wins really really great, and it can actually dictate how your week go,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
there's a win or a loss. So I understand the emotions. Um, the Ravens were not going to go undefeated.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
We may have loved to see that, but the Ravens were not going to go undefeated. Um, this is a game of inches. The touchdown that they scored, Queen had pretty good coverage on the running back out of the backfield. Great throw,
Mm-hmm.
but he was inches away from deflecting that ball.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a game of inches, and Ravens fans, just don't let your emotions get to you. They'll be back next week, and hopefully they'll be back, winning ball games again. But real tight game, went into overtime. Anytime the Ravens defense, with a couple of turnovers, keep a team to 19 points on your home field, the Ravens are supposed to win that ball game,
yeah, yeah,
and they came up short.
yeah, yeah. They definitely,
It's
just
three in overtime. I mean, it was 19 at the end of regulation, got the three in overtime. And again, if the Ravens defense can hold a team to 19 points after the Ravens can turn the ball over twice, we should win that ball game.
yeah, yeah. Definitely should be a W. And there was opportunities. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. There was some opportunities left on that field. If once they go back there and look at it, you know, and this guy's got to make plays, man. Like I say, likely catches that pass that puts them in field goal range
Yeah,
with the clock on their side. They could run the ball a couple times and send Tuck out to for the attempt to win the game. Our whole demeanor is different now. If that's the case. But again, he dropped the ball. You know, uh, and it just didn't go the Ravens' way today. Ball didn't bounce that way today, and it happens. You know, so looking at the expectation that we all talked about from the offensive perspective, right? I know we talked about it a lot when we did our really first little talk about the football season a couple weeks ago before the season started. And I think most of us on the panel that night was in agreement that it's a work in progress. It's not, we're not gonna see the finished product yet. But, you know, what do you think about the progress so far? Even with the injuries, I get all of that, the missing pieces. What do you think about the offense so far when you're looking at it? What's your thoughts?
yeah. Well, yeah, a work in progress. Um, if you look at the first two series, I mean, when they flowing, like I say, Lamar's it's like he back there throwing darts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he was doing in those first two drives.
Mm-hmm.
They was moving the ball down the field. I like the offense. I think they even, kind of went back to the run a little bit there and was being a little successful with the run. I like what I see so far. This is game 3. Um, one thing I think they're going to have to have a nice counter for is, when they spread the offense, when they come in with 3 and 4 receiver sets. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that on a couple of those plays, Indy blitzed
Yeah,
successfully, and you
yeah,
really a whole lot of people back there to block for Lamar. But I think you got to have something in your pocket when you see them ready to come. You got to have some quick little passes you can get off, because I think teams are going to do that. You know,
mm-hmm.
he can't put that pressure. And then Lamar, he's got to be smart with the ball, a little bit smarter. I mean, when you're that talented, sometimes you figure you can do the incredible every time.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just gotta, you know, come up off of that and do the smart thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm okay with the offense. It's early. I still think that this team is a team that has a very good shot to go deep into the playoffs and actually have a good shot at representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. So I'm still right there with that. I haven't changed my mind with that. I'm on record saying that the Ravens is going to go to the Super Bowl and play the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still sticking to that, and at this point, I'm okay with the Ravens. And again, putting it in context, you're talking about an all-pro corner. Humphreys is out. You
Yeah.
talk about they're really a game-changing running back in Dobbins. He's done. You talking about a first-round draft pick who was looking probably to have a Pro Bowl season, and Linderbaum not playing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
got your former Pro Bowl guard Stanley out. And then you can talk about OBJ and Marcus Williams, a serious playmaker back there, and throw Oway in there, and then on top of that, Gus Edwards went down, and so did Ajabo
Yeah. Yeah.
game. So you're looking at a team that's early in the season again with decimated with injuries, and yet still the Ravens have won 2 games and probably should have won the third game.
Yeah. Absolutely. 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 And I'm saying that I'm looking at Kansas City. I guess they heard Miami put 70 up,
Put 70 up.
so they already 31-0
That right?
on Chicago, and it's
Yeah.
about 18. It's a flag because they just scored again. It might be 38 in a minute.
Wow.
No, it's coming back. It's coming back. But I mean, yeah, see to watch offense after a Ravens game. You know, it's always depressing. When you see teams, you turn to a Mahomes, and he make it look easy. You know what I'm saying? And you like, man, why we can't just, you know, why we can't just have this, and I know it don't work like that. I know that you know, it's just part of it. Because a couple years ago when Lamar was the MVP of the league, and every Sunday, man, it was we had never seen football like that from from the offensive side in
Yeah.
Baltimore. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, man, when we was looking at that every Sunday, them boys out there having fun, man. They out there doing their little dances and they laughing and cutting up on the sidelines, man. And they every time you turn around, it's a big play here, big play there, you know, and you looking for that, So again, I know on days like today, I haven't really looked up too much. I seen a couple of things on social media before we got on. When Lamar is not looking like MVP. They look for every little thing to talk about that contract. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of the conversation now. If he don't have a game where he just dominating, you're gonna hear about the contract. You know what I'm saying? He fumbled the ball. He done fumbled at least 4 times so far this year. At least 4. I'm probably missing one or two. But you're gonna hear about it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear about it. And then when they lose on top of that, it's gonna come up. You know what I mean? It's gonna come up. So um I'm prepared to read it and hear about it. I'm not gonna do too much debating about it or talking to people about it because that's draining. You know what I'm saying? It's draining. I already spoke my piece on the contract, but I know that it's coming. I know that those type of conversations are coming because, in my words, people are short sighted. They claim to have understanding of how sports work. And then, they open their mouth and then, you see clearly they don't have a clue as to how this thing works as far as, who gets paid and how much they're gonna get paid. So, I'm not gonna go back down that path again. But just throw that out there because I know it's coming. He didn't have a great game. He did score the two. We got in the end zone. So you take that. You take the touchdown, man, and he made some plays. But for the money, we got our short sighted people who are looking for him to be uh, Mr. Wonderful every week, and that's just not gonna happen. That's not gonna be the case. So, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's what, and that's that comes with the territory. When you're the superstar, you're gonna catch it. They come
Hmm.
hold you at a higher standard than anybody else on that field. Lamar is the big money guy. He held out. That was the big story in the NFL. All right, he got paid, and now the naysayers are going to say, "Okay, now what?" I went out and got your receivers. You got Flowers. You got OBJ. You got what's the dude name they brought in number 15?
Nelson Aguilar.
Aguilar came in. You got this offense. You brought in Munkin. So you know you're gonna hear this. I see we got that comment there. Yeah. Yeah. Just to
Yeah,
throw it away.
just
We
throw it
can't
away.
tackle every time, but we definitely play off bound, no question. I think that kind of sums it up. That's a perfect quote right there. That's where we are. It's going to be ups and downs during the season, and Lamar going to do a whole lot of spectacular things during the year. It can't happen every time. It can't happen every game. You can't win them all. We were not going to go undefeated, and you just got to let these people talk and release themselves. But this is a really good football team. Um, to come out there and play the way they played, I think the Colts were pretty smart. I like the way they came out and they had that sort of quick tempo offense.
Hmm.
Coming up to that line of scrimmage, I thought that was pretty effective. And then considering the Ravens, how short they are with the injuries, I thought that was a good strategy. I think that coach over there, he did a nice play with the going for the field goal and faked it, act like he was going to go for the touchdown, and we had to spend the time out.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a game of inches, so all those things matter. They all can matter in the outcome of the game. And but again, the human being is a very, very emotional creature,
Mm.
and when we deal with these losses, you know, man, they say that the day that there's more spousal abuse than any other day of the year is the day of the Super Bowl.
Mm.
When there's a lot of betting, and all that stuff going on with the football. So, we're emotional, and football seems to bring that emotion out of us more than any other sport that we have. So, don't let your emotions get the best of you. Maybe it still tastes good, and maybe it's cold. You just got to get a hold of your emotions, and we're gonna be right back at it again. And hopefully the Ravens will have us feeling good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. As it's one game, you play them Sunday to Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So it's another one next week. You know, again, like you said, man, don't get too high or too low. It's a work in progress. Really on all phases, especially with all the moving parts with the injury. So, we ain't here to make excuses, man. You took the L,
Right.
and you got to move on to the next one. It's the Belichick philosophy. On the next week.
On the next week,
You
man.
know.
On the next week. And if you had seen some headlines that say a game involving the Ravens, and that the player of the game was the kicker. He
Yeah.
kicked 4 field goals over 50 yards. Everybody would have automatically say that damn Justin Tucker did it again.
Yeah.
He did it again.
Yeah.
No,
Not,
not
not,
this,
not today.
not today, not today, not today.
Not today.
Yeah. So
I
shout out.
mean, it's with the changes, it's just to be expected. I think. You know what I'm saying. I didn't know what to expect really because we didn't see any of the starters during the preseason, so it's become for the sake of injury, we don't want to play these guys in these games that don't really count. But I said this before. I don't remember which week. You got to prepare these guys for football. You can't Injuries are going to happen. It's a contact sport. The thing about the guys that get hit or get hurt with no contact, muscle pulling, muscles, or you turn the wrong way, you tear ACL or something. I mean, things happen every week. Some guys they're getting hurt in practice. Out for the year. The guy from the Cowboys just the other day, Diggs, in practice is hurt. He's done for the year.
Yeah.
So I get the investment. I get the money. We paying these dudes a lot of money, so we want to protect the investment. Don't want to put them out there as much. But you know just as well as I know, man. We never coach professional anything, but we coach and we understand preparation. It's nothing like getting your guys ready. You know what I'm saying? Under any circumstances. So yeah, you want to save a guy. Now, if it's an older guy, yeah, you know what I mean. If it's an older guy, he been around the league a few times, he kind of know. You don't want to push him as hard during the week. But you know, using these first four games is, and that's kind of how we all looked at it as like a preseason. If you have a start like Cincinnati, you start off 0-2, and uh, you know that's not a good preseason. Except these games count. While you trying to get yourself together, these games count for something. And so I say all that. Let me go back to what I was trying to say. Should these guys be playing some plays in the preseason just to get used to seeing other people coming after them, other than their own guys? I just believe you can't run from the injury. You can't do what you're trying to do to protect, because injuries are going to happen. Should you be having hard hitting practices and all that kind of stuff? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, you know, these guys, man, I gotta be careful what I'm saying. you know, they gotta be able to put these guys out there so that from game one, week one, they ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're coming back from a major injury and you're trying to slow walk them back into the routine or into the fold, I get that. But guys that go through training camp, go through the rigors and through the summers and all the stuff they do in the off season, man, game one, week one, you want them to be ready. You don't want you don't want to be playing your best football in September, but you don't want to be still trying to figure it out in October. You know what I'm saying? So next week is October 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we into October.
Yeah.
What we gonna do? What we gonna do? So um yeah, I'm just looking for the progress every week, week to week, man. I want to see what we're gonna do, how they gonna grow this thing. What's the next phase? What we gonna see next? Um, what is it that we're gonna see next, man? What we gonna do next to take the next step offensively? So that's kind of my little rant right there, man. I just kind of I hear all the talk about the injuries early, but I also said, what's the difference in getting hurt preseason or getting hurt in game one? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's the difference? So I would just rather have my guys ready, prepared. Maybe that's just the old school in me. You know, like, if it's a game, let's be ready to play. We're not gonna play the starters the whole game, of course, but you definitely just want to get them out there just to get, to see them live bullets coming at them, and just to give them a different look prior to, you're having your first look at somebody else in week one. And I know they do those live scrimmages, with a team, they come in town for a week or whatever, and they practice and they go against each other. um, every week or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, how they do that
Oh
during
yeah,
the summer.
yeah.
Yeah, they bring a team, and it might be the Eagles or the
I think we
Redskins. I know they did the Redskins.
they did the Redskins this year.
Yeah, then they practice all week together.
Yeah.
Do some drill, go through drills together. So I like that. I like that idea. But then during practice, you just chasing the quarterback. Hitting the quarterback, none of that. So it's just different. You know what I'm saying? I like to see them guys, man. It's too late for that now. I just want to see, I don't want to see, a work in progress. So next year, when we're back at the same point next year, I want to keep hearing, well, it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see a little bit more urgency. And I just want to see a little more. That's where I'm at today.
Well, I definitely feel you on that one. Uh, yeah, yeah, and I mean that's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That if the Ravens, first of all, the Ravens are probably a lot more sensitive than most NFL teams when it comes to injury early during the training camp and preseason based on what happened to them. What was that? Was that
Mhm.
last year or 2 years ago when all the guys went down with these ACL injuries and everything? So I think the Ravens are a little bit more sensitive
Mhm.
to playing their players early, taking that into account. But I think for the Ravens this year, I just think that when you're bringing in a bunch of new starting receivers. You got a new offensive scheme, new offensive coordinator. To me, under those circumstances, you do play the starters a little bit during the preseason. You do
Mhm.
get them out there for a series, uh, you know, or two, the first or second preseason game. I mean, you get them in there and get them doing a few things because of the newness of everything. If it was
Mhm.
just the same offense that you've been having for the last 3, 4 years, same coordinator, same scheme, I can see you kind of getting away from having a whole lot of preseason play from your starters. But when you're coming out with a brand new scheme, I thought that would be helpful for the Ravens to get them out there and kind of get their feet wet with this new offense. It would have helped out Lamar and all the new pieces that they brought in, and even give Monk and some play at this before the regular season starts. So I'm a little bit more in favor of them playing because of that.
Mhm.
But we're into the season now. We did get the two W's at first. If we get this W, uh, likely make that catch or Justin hit the 61-yard field goal, we might not even be having this conversation. But
Mhm.
when you have a loss, you know, uh, losses are good
Yeah.
because it makes you look at yourself a lot deeper and a lot heavier than when you win. Because when you win, winning is like a high,
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
high, and you don't really sit back and look at things. I mean, when you high, you there's a level of distortion involved. That's part of being high. You
Yeah.
in reality as it is. So when you win, okay, but when you lose, that thing hits you hard and it's real and it makes you go in and dig into things a little bit deeper than you would if you had that W. So losses are good, and again, we're emotional. All right, feel it. That's right. They emotional too. So they're gonna
Mhm.
be looking at that film. They're gonna catch a little attitude. They're gonna want to come out the next game ready, to take somebody's head off. So it ain't these L's ain't all bad now.
Right. 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 Yeah. I mean, and you need some material, I guess, to from a coach's perspective. You're always looking at ways to improve, even in wins. You're taking notes and you're looking at what is it that we can do better, this week than we did the week before. You know what I'm saying? So it's always about being better, building blocks and taking that next step forward. Um, Again, the pass protection, with the linemen that are out, you can kind of see where it fell off. But last week they protected very well,
Yeah.
with the injury. So again, and styles make fights, So personnel matters. The Colts personnel is different from Cincinnati's personnel. So you prepare for the team. You just don't throw guys out there and say, well, just do what you did last week. It sounds simple, but we know that's not how it works. We know it doesn't work that way. You got to actually go out there and you got to play the game. And it's not done on paper. You know what I'm saying? It's not something you do fantasy wise. We should do this and we should do that, or we should beat this team with. It's just not that simple. You gotta go play the game. You gotta go play the game, and for a Raven fan, the day wasn't a good day. But it's just one day. So season, we're not gonna look at it like, oh, here we go. The season is over, and I always gotta throw this. I always gotta throw this caveat for Ravens fans, right? People that's been Ravens fans since the beginning. The year we won the first Super Bowl, remember we had 5 weeks where we didn't score a touchdown. 5 weeks of no touchdowns, and we won 2 of them games. You know, we were 2-3 in that run. So anything is possible. You know, anything is possible. So definitely, we're not giving up. Just the tenor of the show was a little different after L. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. We do it again next Sunday, hopefully under better circumstances.
And you know, and you
You know.
know, you know that, and there's some old heads out here that still got a lot of venom towards them Colts
Yeah. Yeah.
for dipping out on us in 1983 in the
Hmm.
snowstorm. I mean, a lot of younger fans don't really understand how heavy that was back in the 80s. I was around. I
Yeah.
understood it. I fully
Yeah.
understood what went down, and to lose your football team in the middle of the night with them Mayflower trucks with the snow falling, and was a huge loss, a big blow. And there's still a lot of hardcore old school fans who hate the Colts, man. And now the son is the owner, Ursay,
Hmm.
of the daddy who was the dude that ran the Colts out of town. So, for a lot of old head fans, this is some unfathomable shit, man. For the Ravens to be losing to the Colts in Baltimore.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So it was interesting that they did. I think they sort of opened the game up showing Johnny Unitas statue out in front of the stadium.
Yeah.
The great Colt quarterback, Baltimore Colt quarterback. So yeah, and again, yeah, the emotions, man, and the sadness. Sadness again, man. Sadness make you think deep. It
Yeah.
thoughts really deep, man. When your heart is broken, when you're feeling sad, when something don't go your way, your thoughts go inside deeper than they've ever gone before. There's no win, no happiness, no victory that's gonna make you go deep like a loss and like sadness. And again, this is good for the Ravens, and they'll bounce back. Just keep emotions in check. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll bounce back. So putting the cap on this one. Uh, tough day for the home team. I'm back at it next Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. 1 o'clock. So it's a division game. It's going to be a big game. All division games are big, especially that first one, because you're trying to set a tone. You're trying to set the tone for the season, and you're already getting them tiebreakers, set up already for how the division gonna play out. In case back down in December is tight. So you go to that conference victories and stuff like that. So uh, every conference game is going to be major this year. And Cleveland is not a pushover anymore. I'm expecting to get a big game from them.
They play,
Pittsburgh as well.
the Cleveland play tonight. Who or
Cleveland. Let me look at it. I think they played today.
they play Cincy? I'm
Let me look at it right quick. I'm gonna look at it right quick. Let me see. Cleveland. They played Thursday, didn't they? Oh, they lost today. No, they won today. Okay, all right. My fault. Cleveland won today. They beat Titans 27-3.
wow.
So they coming in and not seeing the game, so I don't know how the game went from an offensive perspective. Uh, but they put up 27.
So
So
so they'll be 2-1. Both teams
yeah,
2-1,
yep, yep.
fighting for
So
the league.
yeah, and I'm gonna run through the scores right quick of the early games. So you had Detroit over the Falcons 20-6. Chargers over the Vikings 28-24. Green Bay over the Saints 18-17. Texans over the Jaguars 37-17. The Dolphins, man, put up a 70 piece, 70-20 over the Broncos. Let me see. Cleveland over Tennessee 27-3. Buffalo smacked the Commanders 37-3. Colts over the Ravens 22-19. Patriots over the Jets
Okay.
15-10. So those are the early games. Right now, you got Seattle and Carolina, 15-13 Carolina, 15-13 Seattle in the third quarter. Chiefs smacking the Bears 34-0 in the third quarter.
Wow.
Arizona's beating the Cowboys 21-13 in the third quarter. And then you got Pittsburgh and the Raiders tonight. And you got two games tomorrow night. So you got Eagles Buccaneers, and then Rams Cincinnati tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the kind of the week. What we looking forward to this week coming. So let me see next week. Yeah, Ravens Browns at Cleveland. That's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be a big one, man. So
Yeah.
I looking forward to that one. As I am every week. I look forward to every game every week. But we know these division games gonna mean something. And especially we expecting to take a run. We talking like we talk a lot of French here. We talk like we on the damn team, but we
Yeah.
fans, man. We locked in. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? We locked in, man. We Ravens all day. You know what I'm saying? So I just expect it. I expect them to win every Sunday. That's how I look at it. The fan in me said we're supposed to win every game.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but hey, I'm realistic. I know we ain't gonna win every game.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen like that. You know. So before we wrap it up, you know, oh Coach Prime in Colorado took their first L last night. Yesterday afternoon. Uh, got smacked around pretty good. I didn't get to see the game. Um, I was a little tied up yesterday. I didn't get to see the game, but I was following it, and it looked like it got ugly pretty quick. And it was funny because we talked about that as well here. The team, that they're waiting. That the critics are waiting for a loss, especially a loss like that one, where they seemingly were outclassed. Just from a talent standpoint. From what I heard, this Oregon just too big up front. That was kind of the difference in the game. Like, of course, Colorado got some skilled guys. They just don't have that beef up front when you're going up against these top tier teams. So again, me not seeing the game, this is based off just what I heard. Uh, games like that are gonna be tough for Colorado this season. I still believe that they'll win the 6 games. They'll win enough to do the bowl. Play in the bowl somewhere. I think they're good enough to get 6 wins. And we can't discount. Yeah, they lost to Oregon pretty bad, and Oregon's a top 10 team. They got USC next week, which is also a top 10 team. And they got potentially the number 1 draft pick in the draft at the quarterback position coming up. So, they're not going to be a cakewalk. But we can't forget TCU was the runner up last year. TCU was the runner up last year. They were the second team to finish second in the NCAA last year. So it's not like they just beat up on Sisters of the Poor, and they, getting these wins that don't mean nothing. We're not gonna just say the TCU wasn't the defending runner up from last season. We're not gonna skate over that. You know, um, I saw a couple quotes from the Oregon coach, and I saw the video as well where he said, that the honeymoon is over, and we ain't playing for clicks and likes. We playing for wins over here. You know, and yeah, when you winning, when you got the upper hand on somebody, yeah, talk. They got the thing, they talk your shit, talk that shit, coach. But just know, what I'm saying, and ain't been many coaches that have been in this profession or been at any level that haven't talked that kind of smack and had it come back to bite them in the ass at some point. You know what I'm saying? And so I always just be mindful, and we live in the digital age where everything is recorded and it's in the internet, it's there forever. This stuff is gonna come back. When and Dion is somebody that does not live his life quietly. He gonna let you know, but he gonna stand on whatever he put out there. Whatever he say, he gonna stand on it. And first comment I heard him say last night was, "Man, we got our ass kicked. They put it to us. So you own that. So yeah, he had his shades on during the interview as well. So you know what I'm saying? Hey, the brother say he gonna beat him whether they winning or whether they losing. He gonna beat him. And at the end of the day, he trying to get these young men to the next level. So now I know I done talked a lot, and I know you are a Dion fan just like me.
Yeah.
Um, do you think? Do you think? I'm trying to make sure I word this the right way because you know we see what he's doing. We saw what he did at Jackson State. We saw what he did in the NFL. We saw what he did in Major League Baseball. So we know who he is. He's the type of guy that's going. He's the type of guy that walk in the room and immediately the attention is going to go to where he's at. This how he is. So he walked into the room and the attention is on him. It was on him at Jackson State, and it's definitely on him at Colorado because now they get to play against these Power Five guys. The big boys, if you will. With the spotlight on him. Excuse me. He bring along with him a lot of casual fans. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of newly found Colorado football fans. Just like it was a lot of newly found Jackson State fans. You know. Do you think, and I just want to make sure I say this the right way. All right, let me just ask you this. What is your thought on the casual fan? Because the casual fan is not somebody that's going to be there for the long haul, right? So with a guy like Dion, almost like uh almost in the same vein as a LeBron, and I use him because he's a big figure and he's not without controversy, with the move to Miami and the move back to Cleveland and the move to LA, and you know what I'm saying? So he's been able to so him like prime time, the criticism not gonna bother them. You know what I'm saying? The criticism of them won't bother them like it bothered me, bother their fans, the people that love them. But they the type of people that can flourish through whatever. They're gonna be able to function and do what it is they do, no matter what you're throwing at them. Right. So I guess I'm saying all that to say um, just because I see people criticizing the newly minted Colorado football fans. So we're not necessarily Colorado football fans. if I can just be 100%, we're not just Colorado fans. It's more about Dion. It's more about Coach Prime and what he represents. Just real quick, man. Give me your I didn't said a whole lot because I kind of feel a little bit you know feel kind of way. Well, what's your thoughts on that on Dion and this whole the movement?
Well, Dion. First of all, the game itself. I watched the game, and Oregon. I mean, it sort of looked like uh, varsity playing JV.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the size of those guys on Oregon, I mean, even visually, when you look at the field and you saw the teams out there, you could see that this Oregon team was a much bigger team,
Mm-hmm.
particularly on the lines than the Colorado team. So this game, I think you're going to see much of the same when they play USC. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
be talking about these huge offensive linemen and these huge defensive linemen, and Colorado just can't really play, I don't think, with those kind of teams. And those teams can also match Colorado playmakers. You got, like you mentioned, the number one quarterback, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, he definitely can match Colorado's quarterback. And they got playmakers that can match Colorado playmakers. And then on the same, and then also you have to remember that that the phenom guy did not play.
Travis Hunter, yeah.
Travis Hunter did not play. Travis Hunter being their best offensive player and also being their best defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
So, his injury hurt him on both sides of the ball. Huge loss. Arguably, he could be the top college player out there right now, being able to impact the game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, they got beat pretty handily. Uh, but Dion is that guy, man. I mean, he had me as just a fan, when
Mm-hmm.
the NFL, and I wasn't an Atlanta Falcon fan.
No.
I was a Deion Sanders fan. So I watched those games because Dion was on the field.
Yeah.
He left Atlanta and went to Frisco. I didn't look at no more Atlanta games. I with Frisco.
Yeah.
And this is why the Ravens are here. I'm still a Ravens fan, but I'm a Dion fan. So I watched them in Frisco. I watched him with the Braves. He left Frisco and went to Dallas. I
Mm-hmm.
was never no Cowboy fan, but I was with them when Dion
Mm-hmm.
was there. I was pulling for them. And then, he went to the Redskins. I ain't never been a Redskin fan.
Right.
Never.
Right.
But when Dion was there, I was watching them games. And
Yeah.
he came to Baltimore, man, I almost lost it.
Yeah, man.
But this is a guy who, when he was on the NFL as an analyst, I watched him.
Yep.
When on the reality TV show, I watched him.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy has that it factor, and that casual fan. I mean, you mentioned LeBron. I mean, I liken him to Ali,
Mm-hmm.
because Dion got a lot of mouth, and when you got a lot of mouth, you're gonna have a whole bunch of, and people are gonna tune in to see him, get his ass whipped,
Yes,
and
sir.
and so I can understand these coaches being upset. There's a four-letter word, man, that really, really resonate in this situation when you're talking about Deion Sanders. That word is envy.
Mm.
I mean, you get a guy like Dion who's getting this job, they throwing some money at him, and all the networks, all of a sudden, Colorado games are nationally televised. All of a sudden, the NIL money that his son is making is more than anybody else, and all of a sudden, the sunshades that he wearing is selling, and all of a sudden he's designing part of the suits that they wear every day for their games and stuff. I mean, this thing is a movement, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge tsunami, and it's all because of this dude, Deion Sanders. So I get it. I understand the envy. I understand the hate. I understand the adulation. I understand the excitement because a dude like him is going to bring it on all. I mean, from one spectrum to the other, he going to bring it because that it factor, he has gotten it in abundance.
Yeah, yeah,
Period.
absolutely, absolutely.
Period. And we're going to watch whether he win or lose
Yeah,
because what we seeing from Colorado this year is just the beginning.
yeah, yeah,
And you
and
wait, he start getting them offensive and defensive linemen coming to that school, which he will get, and
yeah,
your team continue to rise. And I don't know how long you're gonna stay there because obviously there's gonna be some other teams throwing some money at him.
yeah, yeah. And I saw somebody say it today. You know, Colorado would be smart to go in there and try to renegotiate that contract they got with him because I mean they talking about they made $80 million just in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks, man. There's a program they didn't generated 80 million,
yeah.
but that's because of who? You understand? So you know, and the I guess he was the AD that made the statement during the press conference. We don't even have the money to pay him. We don't know how we're gonna pay him. You remember hearing that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So now we know you got some money. You know, uh, and you know Dion is watching.
And he already knew. And he already knew he was gonna generate money, so he wasn't worried about that.
Yeah, yeah. So he watching. And again, in this business, man, it's a what have you done for me lately business, but to go both ways. You know, it go both ways. So you got people, man, a lot of fans, a lot of casual fans. They get bent out of shape when these people, like the players, especially when the players are talking about some money. The fans are just like, nah. Everybody become capologists, and we begin we know how the cap work, and we know how much money the team got to spend, and you shouldn't be making that much money. You know, and we hear all these things. What should or what should not happen. At the end of the day, you only worth what somebody willing to pay you. Now you have to know what your dollar is, what your bottom line is, right? You have to know that it's going to take X amount of million for me. Now, when you're sitting in Dion's seat, he can look at, well, I came here last year, y'all only had won one game. We did that the first 2-3 weeks. So we doubled that, and I'm expecting more. So and then look at the ticket sales, look at the money we generated, look at all the stuff we done just in we're not even a quarter of the way. Well, how many college play 12 games, I guess. So I guess they about a quarter of the way through, right? 3-1. Uh, big win over TCU. Big emotional win over Colorado State. Big win over Nebraska, who, Nebraska is not what they used to be, but still it's a Power 5 school. It's a win. It's a win nonetheless. You know, pay. The money's gonna come up if they keep having success. They're packing that building out. There's excitement on that campus. The money's gonna be there. So I don't know if you re-up with them this year, but then again, see, my thing is, man, is he gonna stay beyond his son's eligibility? Do you think he got coaching in him that much that he gonna stick with it once his sons are done?
Well, I mean, that's gonna be something to think about. I even experienced that. You know,
Mm.
coaching my own kid, and am I still gonna hang around once they leave and start playing somewhere else? Am I gonna still stick around and coach those teams? I mean, it's a tough decision. You know, when you think about Dion, he coached them, Pop Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Come
Mm-hmm.
up. So uh, it's going to be interesting to see how that play out. People keep saying the NFL. Is he going to go to the NFL? I heard him say he's not interested in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be that kind of a guy who just has the. I mean, he just got that thing, man, where he can motivate people, he can inspire people, and actually transform people.
Mm-hmm.
They interviewed a couple of the Jackson State guys who are still there at Jackson State and asked them how do they feel about Coach Prime leaving. And and the one dude said, man, he said basically just kind of paraphrasing, it's like I've never really been around anybody like Dion, but he was like Coach Prime. He said, but he was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
The way he expressed himself, the way he bring things, the way he motivates you, and he said he straight truth. He ain't deviating on the truth. He's sticking with the truth, and that's exactly what I needed. So this guy has a special ability to be able to reach people, and just being who he is. And when you can do that, just being who you are, man, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And I'm on record, of course, of saying that, you know, my I wish he had stayed at Jackson State. I
Mm-hmm.
wish he stayed and continued to work with the HBCUs, because what that guy bring to the table, all that stuff that's happening at Colorado was happening at Jackson State. All the money that was coming in,
Mm-hmm.
everything, lifting that, putting that thing up on a level that it had never seen before, and all the other HBCUs were starting to catch fire. I mean, I think he has enough in him to to lift the whole HBCU colleges across the board,
Mm.
and not just football and everything. That's how much of an it factor that Deion Sanders has with him.
Yeah.
Okay, but a man does what he wants to do with his life, and I absolutely respect that. I'm a huge fan of his, so I'm gonna watch him and root for the man wherever he go and whatever he do. And I just happen to think, man, I don't know what some people maybe not old enough maybe to have watched his career throughout, but that guy was one of the greatest athletes, man. I mean, this dude, man, what he did, no one has. I mean, this guy was catching helicopters between World Series game and football games, and I mean, played in a Super Bowl and a World Series. I don't think anybody else has ever done that.
Mm-mm.
So he's done things that we've never seen before, and to see that same it factor carry through past his playing days onto his coaching and all the other things that he's into has just been an amazing thing. He's one of the greatest. Period.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And you know, it just the character, man, and the personality. You know, I think everybody is just not used to dealing with those type personalities. Floyd Mayweather is another one. You know what I'm saying? That come to mind, that just gonna tell you his truth. Really don't care what you think about it, whether you like it or not. And then they go out and they perform. You know what I'm saying? And these are the type people, man. You either gonna love them or you love to see them get beat. And that's kind of what it is with Dion. People either on the side of the fence we on, that you gonna love this dude, or you gonna be on the side of the fence to say, you know what? Yeah, I'd rather see him. I'd rather see him lose at every aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? And and people get real personal with somebody that they just don't like. You know what I'm saying? You know, Floyd is somebody that's gonna show you all the money he making. Whether he got it on his wrist or he go through his garage with all his cars and his private jets. He gonna put his lifestyle in your face. If he got a bunch of money, so that breed that envy, man. Just people that just hate to see you winning, and then sometimes you hear the people say, "Well, humble yourself a little bit." You already here. You ain't gotta be be a jerk about it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
Dion is gonna be Dion, man. He gonna come up there, like you said, ain't nobody over here, ain't no tissue, ain't nobody in here crying. We got beat.
right.
We got beat, man. So we do it again next week. For those that celebrate when people that they don't like generally don't have nothing to do with football or any other sport. It's just they don't personally like them. They usually end up on the wrong end of stuff more times than not. Just because you keep that negative energy out there, you keep putting that negative energy outside, it usually come back to bite you. So we crying
Yeah,
about Dion, and you know he's got his son, and his son can play a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's not just the starting quarterback because of his son. The kid actually can play.
you got talent.
So but if you're in position, right? If you are Coach Dean, and you coached your boys, and you did, what I'm saying, but you coached them from the flag football era all the way up through high school, and y'all had some success, and you put yourself in position to get one of them jobs, and your boys are legit. Like, they not just gonna get somewhere because they're your boys, and you got a job. They gonna get somewhere because they're legit. You know what I mean? What you gonna do? You gonna put your son in the quarterback competition when clearly he's the guy, or you know, are you gonna move accordingly like Dion
Yeah.
did?
I mean, what that dude is doing, man, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He got his two sons, who he's coached since they were little kids. He knows their talent. He's groomed them. He's brought them up. He's connected them. NFL players. You heard Shador talking about his connection with Tom Brady and
Hmm.
and things like that. So what Dion is doing, man, is like, I mean, he's doing like the greatest thing like that a dad could do for his kids. He's putting them into situations where they can be successful. That dude driving around in a Maybach, Shador, you,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
I've seen it.
yeah,
Pretty nice, pretty nice.
$180,000 car or something. I don't know what it costs,
Yeah, pretty
but
nice.
I mean, this is because of Coach Prime.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Let's be
this
clear.
stuff is happening because of Deion Sanders.
Let's be
That's
clear.
why this dude Deion he's I mean, he's above these other dudes, man, because Dion has the ability to generate money on top of money on top of money. I
Hmm.
mean, doing this stuff instantly, man. I mean, what he is doing with generating money, I mean, these people are absolutely looking at him. So it was a great, for those in power, it was a great move to get him away from the HBCUs and bring him into the, you know, to the college football world, the white college football world, and to use all of that skill and talent that he have. Yeah, team coaches are getting upset and they may get mad, but it's still Colorado making all the money.
Yeah.
Ain't Jackson State making the money, it's Colorado making the money. And we can go back to what Big John Thompson brought to college basketball. When you're young and you watch Georgetown, man, you thought that was a HBCU
Yes.
when you looked at the team he put on the court.
Yeah.
But if you ever really looked at who he was, what Georgetown basketball was generating money for, it was a lily white school. So if you're looking at what Deion Sanders is doing, they okay with him doing what he's doing, long as it's at Colorado or at
Yeah,
one
of course, of
schools, they
course.
fine with that because he's keeping that going. He's the type of dude who actually have the ability to take the HBCUs to a level that it has never gone before. He has that ability. He's one of the few people that you can look out there and see that. Ed Reed went and was going to go there. Ed Reed ain't got that ability.
Right,
Ed Reed
right.
does not have that it factor off the field like he had on the field.
Yeah, it's a difference.
It's a
It's a
big difference
difference.
there.
It's a
Ed Reed,
difference.
that dude. So
Mm-hmm.
he goes to a HBCU and the shit go haywire and he start talking bad about the HBCU. I lose a little respect for Ed for doing that. You
Yeah.
know, but this dude Deion Sanders is something different.
Yes.
He has that it factor in abundance, and the abilities that he has is just off the charts, man. And you can't help but watch the dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wish him so much success. And it's so dope what he doing because he got his boys with him.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing take the level of dopeness, man, way up here.
Yeah, man.
Man,
Yeah.
and Deion Sanders, something, man, and we need to enjoy that dude, man, while he's still on the face of this earth, man, because he is something special.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's I just don't think, man, that there's anybody, there's nobody else that could do what he's doing.
No one, not at this time.
Not at this time. I just don't think it's nobody that like you say, man, just have the perfect mix of personality and just being able to connect with people. That's not an easy thing to do, to sit in those rooms. Uh, people, you are the greatest person on earth when all is well. Right now Colorado is 3-1 starting the season, 3-1 after last year they were 1-11.
And 1-11, coach, and how many points did they lose by average of?
It
30?
was just like third, it was something
It was
ridiculous.
30. They lost an average, the losses, they lost by an average of 30 points.
Yeah,
You
it was
got to put
something
this thing
ridiculous.
in perspective of what Deion has done.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
crazy what he's doing.
yeah. It was definitely something ridiculous. The number that they were losing by. So for them to come in and to turn that thing around. I mean, they. I mean, it's still early. So it's still early. Um, it's still early out here. So anything can happen. I'm expecting them to get at least the 6 or 7 wins. I'm expecting them to go to the bowl this year and be successful, building, continue building the program. I got a gentleman that's going to join us on one of the upcoming roundtables. High school football coach. I talked with him yesterday, so we gonna get him on. And he's the perfect guy when we talk about building a program, building a culture. Um, you know, so I can't wait to get him on to talk about that and just kind of go through what Coach Prime got going on at Colorado on that level, and he kind of can compare to what he's doing here at the local level. So that's going to be hopefully I can get him on Wednesday for the round table. Got a photo up right now. Young man Haywood Highsmith Jr. from the Miami Heat, local kid from Baltimore. And I'm gonna have an interview with him tomorrow. So I'm gonna have him on the show tomorrow evening. Uh, we're shooting for about 8:30. So if you tuning in now and you heard about this young man, tune in tomorrow evening. He's gonna join me. We've been pushing it back a couple times, man, because he's a busy young man. And he goes to training camp next week. So we definitely would try and make sure we get him before we had training camp. So I know I ain't gonna be able to catch him once they start the season. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that is the Miami Heat jersey that you see there.
Yeah, that is the Miami Heat. It's legit. That's from an actual
Legit.
game.
That's who he played for now.
Yeah, he went. I didn't catch him. I didn't take this picture of him at down the YMCA on 33rd. That's actually his jersey with his name on the back.
That's right. Ain't no Photoshop going on here. Did he go to Curly?
Yeah, he went to Archbishop
Went
Curley
to Curly.
and then went to Wheeling Jesuit. I think that's in West Virginia. It's a Division II school, and it just worked itself up. Man, became the Division II Player of the Year his senior year, and worked his way into the league. Man, took the scenic route. Did some D League or whatever it's called now, D League, G League. Whatever they call it this year.
Right.
Did some time down there. Had a dual contract with Delaware team and the Philadelphia 76ers. So that was kind of taste to getting into the league. Played a little bit with the Sixers, and then Miami picked him up, man, and signed him. And he was doing really well, man. He's getting a lot of minutes in the playoffs. Coming off the bench, a defensive spark. Played really good defense. Get a bucket here and there, but he was solid. He was playing in crucial times too. He wasn't just somebody that was in and out of the game. He was getting some good minutes. So was able to make a connection with him, and he agreed to do the interview right away. So that was cool. We just been going back and forth for a couple weeks. Trying to get the logistics down and catch him before the season starts. Cause I know he's real busy. So we're gonna have that tomorrow evening, tentatively at 8:30 tomorrow. It's funny. We were scheduled to go last Thursday. Last Thursday evening, we were scheduled for 8:30. He hit me up Thursday or Wednesday night. He hit me up Wednesday night. Was like, he had a team event that was planned that he had to attend. And asked me would I mind rescheduling. He wanted to do it Friday. Friday I was traveling. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, well, let's do Monday. Can you do Monday? I said, yeah, let's make it happen Monday. So, he been helpful. He hadn't been just blowing me off. He been kind of working with me, let me know his availability. I'm looking forward to talking to him. Just getting to know his background a little bit, his basketball journey. How he got to this level of this game, the pinnacle, really. For a basketball player, dream. Everybody dream of getting to the league. So he's in the show. And he made it. So definitely looking forward to having him on the show, talking some NBA, and see what other sports he's into. Like to see what kind of pedigree he had coming up. Was he a football player too? Baseball. You see a lot of kids that I find out uh, a lot more athletes have played baseball than I would have ever thought. Guys that's made it professional in other sports. Talking about they played a little baseball growing up. So be interested to see what the young man, just to hear a little bit about his background and his story. And looking forward to that. So that's Haywood Highsmith, Baltimore kid from current Miami Heat player.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. Working on a couple more interviews. A couple more guys that's doing some things. I met an interesting guy at work. He owns the Arena Football League. So, he agreed to come on with me as well. So try to put together a show, man, and just kind of talk to him from an owner's perspective. What do it mean to own a league? You know what I'm saying? And really even what do it take to own a league? How much money you need no, I don't want to get in his pockets like that. you know. So yeah, I'm gonna get him on and he's gonna talk, man. We can get a little perspective just about from the ownership perspective, man. Good dude though. Real good guy. Real down to earth. real down to earth guy. So I can't wait to get him on as well. Um, Damn, it's a Hollywood Brown sighting.
What?
Hollywood just got a touchdown. Uh,
Okay.
Not that I'm commentating. I know they don't like that, but yeah, Arizona up on the Cowboys, 27-16. Before they haven't made the try yet, the kick. Yeah, Hollywood.
I saw where Josh Oliver scored a touchdown for Minnesota today. That's the played tight end for the Ravens last year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Minnesota Vikings. He scored today.
Yeah, yeah. And he missed the field. Oh, he made it. Okay, it looked like he missed it. 28-16. Fourth quarter. Cardinals over the Cowboys. The Cowboys. I'm not gonna ride y'all too much today. I know.
They was going
Nah.
to the Super Bowl after last. After
Yeah,
last.
yeah. They had two blowout wins. And,
Yeah.
they look like world beaters. And now the 0-2 Cardinals are beating them 28-16. The 0-2 Cardinals.
Right.
Let me reiterate that
I don't
for
know
all,
who's
for all my Cowboy fans out there.
back for them.
For the Cardinals,
Yeah.
I don't know. Stoney Case or somebody.
Yeah. I don't even know,
I
man.
don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, I know who ain't the quarterback for the
Right.
Cardinals.
Right. Right.
And I've been reading some stuff about him trying to get up out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he should have went ahead and played baseball. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well,
He had the option.
I think him and Duvernay cousins too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Got that good blood. They got that good gene pool, I guess.
Yeah. They grew up in the same area, same vicinity, against each other in different sports and stuff. So
Okay, I didn't know that.
I think at the beginning they didn't even know that they were related.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, one of them Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady situation.
Yeah, something similar to that,
Yeah. Oh, yo, you my cousin.
Yeah, it's okay when y'all the same gender,
Yeah.
Take a bad turn when y'all different. Y'all come to the family reunion.
Yeah.
And y'all find out that y'all related, and
yeah.
she's 5 months pregnant.
Yeah, it can make the cookout a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can make things a little awkward. Especially if
Right.
y'all from the same side of the family.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, let's go ahead. We might as well go ahead and add all the layers to it.
That's right.
Like, damn.
Right.
Not only is y'all cousins, but we cousins on the same goddamn side of the family.
Right. Y'all first cousins.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that'll make shit real ugly.
Right.
Woo.
Right.
Yeah. Matter of fact, cookout is over.
Yeah.
It's over. Y'all got to go.
I got to go. Matter of fact, y'all need to look at each other at that family reunion and act like y'all don't know each other.
Right.
Talk about that after the fact. What we do?
Yeah, that definitely would make things a little awkward.
Yeah.
But things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen. So, Greg, wrap it up. For the Sunday, post game. Ravens take the L today. Tough L. We'll be back at it next Sunday. Ravens, Browns. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a show next Sunday because I got a softball tournament that I'm probably going to be at. I probably want to get to see the game. Daddy duties call. So I'll be doing that. I may do something from the phone. Just depends. Depends on how my day go. But any closing words for the people?
Well, again, 14 more of these coming during the regular season, so we can't get all bent out of shape over one. We got a very good football team. I would love to see this team when they're fully healthy and see how they play out there on that field. So always must see TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, always. It's always must see. And yeah, we, take a little woosah, you know, go hug go hug somebody. Just tell somebody you love them today. It's okay.
That's right.
Spread love today. It's
Right.
okay, baby. We still gonna have Purple Friday next week.
That's right.
It's still gonna be Purple Friday. So wash them jerseys up and them t-shirts, and
There it is.
get the ketchup off and from the tailgate, and you know all the other smells you got in your street. Go ahead and wash that stuff up, man, and be ready Friday. Represent Purple Friday, and they on the road next week in Cleveland. So get your pregame rituals together. Those of y'all that's going to the games, it's because we always travel well. Y'all get ready to go out there and bring home a W. We gotta get back on the right side of this thing. So the 12th man, this is the you. Go out there, man. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you're watching football, watch football. Enjoy that. If not, put on some Netflix or something. Something. Do something constructive, man. Just don't sit around thinking about the payroll and all of the injuries on the Ravens, man, and
Right.
what we should have did on 3rd and 8 in the fourth quarter, or just let that stuff go. Let it go. Go get yourself ready for work tomorrow, because work is not closed.
Still gotta go.
Gotta go. Get ready for work and whatever it is you got to do for the week. If you pack your lunch, if you're you one of them type people that cook your meals every Sunday and then eat off them all week, do that. But don't let this game get you down. It's one game, and we got, like you said, we got a lot of season left, and we're expecting to come back next Sunday, get a W in Cleveland. No less, in Cleveland. So that's all I got. Ready to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Went a little longer than usual for a recap, but hey, it is what it is.
Is what it is.
Football do that to you.
Yeah, we flow like that. So
Yeah. So, for those that's going want to hear about Mr. Haywood Highsmith, tune in tomorrow about 8:30. Tell a friend, and y'all make sure y'all subscribing to that YouTube channel and joining the Facebook group and everything else. The more the merrier. And Wednesday possibly we'll have another roundtable. Get the fellas on. We'll talk about the upcoming week in football, some college football stuff, some little NBA stuff. We'll throw some stuff around, little topics. So before we go, did you see the stuff that Gilbert Arenas was saying about Olajuwon?
yeah.
Now I know Gilbert is funny guy. He like to be funny, but that's just borderline ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now if somebody willing to pay you 50,000, who am I to say you charging them too much money? If they're willing to pay it,
And we're not talking about Olajuwon teaching 9 to 5 guys these moves. We talking about Team Olajuwon teaching Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Greek Freak. I mean, we talking about multi-millionaire ball players who are trying to reach the pinnacle of their career, their ability, what they can. And that man had some footwork that was out of this world.
Yeah.
And 50,000 ain't nothing.
Yeah, it's dropping the bucket to a lot of these guys, man.
Man, it's a drop in the.
I mean, if me or you was coughing up 50,000 to go see Olajuwon
Right.
for our Saturday league at the YMCA,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a little excessive.
All right, now Gilbert know what he talking about then.
Yeah. Gilbert can roast me, Gilbert.
And I mean, another thing, man, I people, he's entertaining and stuff like that, but people need to understand who that talk is coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, Gilbert Arenas been like kind of like a weirdo all throughout his career.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
so you can listen to the guy and you can entertain him, but you just got to understand where that's coming from and who
yeah,
he is. So,
yeah, absolutely.
uh, and don't get too bent out of shape, because he's saying it. Because I'm not shocked by a
No,
comment.
no, no, I'm not shocked either.
Gilbert,
Yeah, and another guy. I don't know if you've been checking this out. What's the dude? Whitlock,
Jason Witt.
Jason Whitlock.
Yeah,
He been going in on Dion.
yes,
You know, and I'm like, oh, this is what he does. This is exactly what he does. He finds somebody that's kind of hot button, and then he just goes all the negative and all of the nonsense, and even making up stuff. You know, even making up stuff because he know people gonna click on his stuff. He got he found an audience, and he's another one of them guys. You either love that dude or you hate him. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I had the fortune or misfortune of hearing him on the DC station years ago. He came. They used to bring him on usually when there was some kind of controversy with a black athlete, and,
yeah,
and he would come on and give the you know the alternate perspective on whatever the situation was or was not at the time. I know he had a lot to say about Kaepernick and nailing and all that stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he kind of was on the other side of that. And yeah, I don't have a problem with people, man. If that's your lane, and you stick in that lane because it's made them an awful lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It's made him an awful lot of money. But at the end of the day, because uh, I've heard people talk about. Remember Rush Limbaugh,
yeah,
who was very outspoken in some of the things he talked about, and I've heard people say off camera he's nothing like that. He found a role, he found a lane. It was lucrative for him, and he wrote it. You know what I'm saying? They said as soon as them lights went off, he was a whole other person. Like
mm-hmm.
it's hard to believe sometimes because he's so convincing. They so convincing, but I just had to believe, man, that in entertainment, especially people that take those hard line stances, they do it because they know it's going to generate uh what's considered likes now. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get likes and you're gonna draw traffic to you, you know, because you're taking those extreme approaches to everything. You know what I'm saying? So Whitlock, I've seen a couple of videos the last couple of weeks. He just going in on Prime and he talking about he guards, God this and God that, and then he'll throw something else that he doing opposite of whatever he think God type people should be. Um, you know, you
Yeah,
get what you get when you deal with dudes like that. The
yeah,
Whitlocks of the world. You know,
yeah, and again, man, when you have someone like a Deion Sanders, man, I mean, he is just, I mean, his persona and everything is just so much magnified and yeah, fearless Whitlock, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting what he said about Prime. But Dion is just that dude, man. I mean, it's just, and everybody, all these coaches that he's playing against. The Colorado State coach has
hmm
things to say. The Oregon coach has some things to say. These guys are taking advantage. See, when you talk about a Jason Whitlock or these other coaches, Deion Sanders is generating so much excitement that when you got an opportunity to play against him, you want to tap into that. So
yeah,
this guy rehearsed. This is like his biggest speech ever, and he know
hmm
that his speech can get put on ESPN, can be on ESPN. It can reach out to so many potential players that he might can recruit. So he got that thing together, man. He rehearsed that thing. He
Yeah.
practiced that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johned it up. This is what I'm going to say because this is going to reach recruits. This is going to bring some excitement to me.
Mm-hmm.
For Colorado State, man, these guys know what they're doing. Jason Whitlock know you put Deion Sanders up there, and whether you go with him or against the grain, you're going to get a whole bunch of likes and a whole bunch of people tapping into what you're saying. So,
Mm-hmm.
God, man, he's making money for people. He's bringing attention to people. Whether they love him or like him or for him or against him, it's Deion, and they watching and they saying and they speaking about him and all of this be all because of the prime effect.
Yeah.
Everybody shook up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, he had that thing, man, that it just you can't really teach nobody how to have it. You know what I'm saying? It's either you have it or you don't. And he seemed to have it, and he just one of them type people, man, that he just good at everything he did. You know what I'm saying? And so, people that's like that, they're a little strange, because they wired different. You know what I mean? Because, greatness is not something you wake up with. You know what I'm saying? You might wake up with the tools, but you got to put in some work. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some work in to really get to that greatness, you know. And like I said, man, Dion is a guy we talked about it, man. Baseball, football, commentating, coaching now. You know what I'm saying? He just been able to excel at everything. I mean, Dion was all state in basketball as
Yes,
well. You know what I'm saying? So, we talk about an athlete. This dude is one of the greatest athletes ever in any sport. You know, just a pure athlete, man. So we can go on and on. We can talk about Dion till tomorrow.
and it's funny though, man. Like that is saying. I mean, Jason Whitlock had the nerve to challenge this man's spirituality.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what kind of shit is that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's see that's something that again, he know that he got an audience that love that. They love to challenge people's spirituality and all that stuff. From these the people that usually on that side of the fence. He's a Fox News type of guy,
Yeah,
conservative type guy. These are the people that's always telling you, we need religion back in schools, and you know, uh, everything everything is so morally supposed to be done in a moral way, and blah 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 blah. You know, but one of the most principal things that Christians, so-called Christians, are supposed to, they ain't supposed to be so judgmental. And yet they always got something to say about somebody that they perceive as the enemy. They paint a picture of them as this person is evil for you. This person is no good. You know, and so we just going. I'm going to make sure that everybody else know that they not a good person. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be on this crusade. You know, and I'm making money along the way. That's the part we're not going to talk about. He a truth teller. He's telling the truth. That's why nobody like him, because he's telling the truth about Dion. But yeah, but he getting a hell of a paycheck to do it. He not on the sports mix where ain't no money coming in.
right.
Talking about Dion is this, and this, and he's a fake prophet and all that stuff. Yeah, he ain't on head doing it. He over there wherever he is now. I know he's not with Fox no more, but he over there getting a paycheck to do what he do. And you got millions of people that's going to tune in. They're going to share his videos. They're going to put his stuff out there. So yeah, he got an audience, and they like what he's saying, and it's just going. He gonna be able to say whatever he want until somebody call him out on it. And it don't seem to happen, because just as many people hate Deion Sanders and people like him as it is that love him. So it's going to be an audience for that guy Jason Whitlock to do the things he do and say the things he say. Bottom
Yeah,
line.
yeah. I hear that. I hear that the young man who got the flagrant foul against Travis Hunter with that late hit. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that he and his family have been receiving death threats.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that. I
So
heard that.
this is the prime effect. And I mean, you just don't. This kind of thing doesn't happen when you're talking about your 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 everyday boy next door type of fella. I mean,
Yeah.
this Dion guy is something different. And so all of this stuff that's happening around him, it's impacting everybody. He probably got people watching Colorado play that don't even they ain't never even watched a college football game before.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Oh, for
impact
sure.
he has. He's drawing in people. Now they all looking at his children. They looking into his other children. Uh, like I say, his son's making all this NIL money. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Babyface wife, she claimed with the pill. I got Dion, and I mean, all this stuff is going on all around this dude, and Dion is the type of guy who's never sad.
Right.
Everything
Right.
that's happening, he's gonna keep reaching for more and more and more. And this is not a dude who fell from heaven. This is a dude who's had some mental health challenges. A guy
Mm-hmm.
who tried to commit suicide, actually drove off a cliff and survived it in his attempt to commit suicide. So this is not a dude, man. Coming straight from heaven, man. This is a guy who has his own challenges. He done lost three toes, and maybe threatened to get his foot cut off, man.
Mm-hmm.
Old turf toe injuries in football. This is a guy who has faced a lot of challenges. But the it factor, man, is unreal. The it factor that he has is just unreal.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, whatever that is, everybody just don't have it. Everybody don't have it, and you can't coach it, you can't teach it, you know, and you can't go nowhere and buy it.
No,
You can't
no,
buy that, man. You just gotta have it, and
no.
he has it for sure.
Like Jordan, we know that Michael Jordan had the it factor on that basketball court as an athlete as much as any other athlete. He's one of the top tier athletes ever with that it factor. But when you take his ass off the basketball court and you put him up in the as a GM or whatever, that it factor wasn't there anymore.
Mm-mm,
You know,
mm-mm.
anymore. As much as I loved him, the it factor was not there off the court. I mean, as great as some of these ball players, even LeBron James, as great as he is on that court, he comes off the court. He still has some it factor to him, but his it factor ain't nothing like this stuff that Dion got going on.
Mm-mm,
Dion,
mm-mm.
50 something years old, right?
Yeah, yeah.
55, 56. I don't know how old he is, but he out there. That it factor, man, has not diminished at all.
Mm-mm,
In fact, what
mm-mm.
he's doing now is, well, I don't know if it's great at what he did athletically, man. This dude, he haven't lost anything, man. I mean,
Yeah,
what he was
yeah,
doing athletically and what he has brought to where he is now, man. I mean, both are just phenomenal. That it factor, it just across the board for him.
yeah, yeah, man. I want to officially, you know, put 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 Dallas Cowboy fans, family members of Dallas Cowboy fans, just put y'all on notice because the Cowboys great lose this game, and I know the season is coming to an end for a lot of fans. Once they lose, and then you lose to the Cardinals of all teams.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
just keep eye out for the Cowboys fans tonight. You know, but if you know a Cowboy fan
yeah.
that's near and dear, to call them and just check on them.
Yeah, if you see him standing on a bridge or something, I mean, just pull over and roll the window down and talk to him a little bit. Tell him
Yeah,
that
yeah. It's a game next week.
14 more games coming.
Yeah, it's a game next week.
And then there's a whole lot of them Cowboy fans right down the street in the district.
Yeah, yeah,
They loaded down there with Cowboy.
yeah, yeah. I see a few from time to time.
Yeah.
In my travels. Brother come to the barber shop that I routinely pick with. because he always got on a damn star. I don't care what time of year it is. He always got something with a star on it. And then one of my clients is a Cowboy fan. I haven't had much to tease him about the first 2 weeks, but I will certainly make up for it this week uh, with this loss. You know, and I don't have nothing against Cowboy fans. I love y'all. I just like picking with y'all. That's all. So you know, yeah, Stephen A. for sure will be doing a video probably in the next 10 minutes. He'll be somewhere laughing. How about them Cowboys? And Stephen A. is relentless.
And they say you don't have to. Stephen A. will.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now Stephen A. Did you see the video of him throwing out that first pitch in Yankee Stadium?
That was Stephen A.
Yeah, yeah,
Take it to the catcher.
yeah. It bounced up there. It
It,
looked like
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Come on, Stephen A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Man, Stephen A. was an athlete.
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
I mean, he
I
he played on the
mean,
he was in Winston Sailor.
yeah, that's what he say.
Yeah, that's
You
what he
know,
said.
that's what
I
he say. Well, hey, who am I? Who am I to judge? I was an athlete too once upon a time,
yeah.
but I think I can still get up to the plate.
I would
I
think
mean, I'm just saying,
I would think I could too. Yeah.
you know. And he had on a Derek Jeter shirt. He had on number 2, which you know. Come on, Stephen A.
Is Stephen A. Philly?
He from New York.
He from New York. Yeah, he used to
Yeah,
write for the
yeah. He's the right for the
for
Philadelphia,
the Byron. Yeah.
Philadelphia Inquirer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But he from New York. He's a New
Okay.
York guy.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You couldn't tell, loud as he is.
Well, yeah. To run his mouth,
Yeah, he
He
definitely he got the New York swag about him because they
yeah.
definitely ain't shy for words.
Nah.
You
He
know.
knows the man in that round. He the dude right now.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he better be careful too. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah.
they waiting to
They
pour
wait.
that carpet from up under his ass.
Yeah. He keep it up. They'll pounce on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. We'll look at it. It'll be 9 o'clock. Well, they be kicking off the next game,
Right.
the night
Right.
game. We still talking.
Right.
So yeah. So definitely you know good having you on as usual.
Yeah.
Talking little Ravens, little wrap up. Talk little Prime, Coach Prime as usual. Plus, it's Coach Prime get a lot of airtime up on here. Uh, Coach Prime, if you're listening, I know somebody on your team is watching and listening, man. You gotta come pay the sports visit, makes a visit.
Right.
Coach.
Absolutely.
I mean, come holler at your boys, man.
Get Prime on. We're gonna try to get Prime on or Shador or I don't know. Maybe we can get Tracy on. I don't know.
Yeah, get Tracy up on here. But here come then.
Yeah, we can get somebody on.
Yeah, we get Tracy up on this joint, talk a little bit. But yeah, so tune in tomorrow, ma'am. Have Haywood Highsmith from the Miami Heat. Haywood Highsmith Jr. Uh, be on for tomorrow from the Miami Heat, man. Talk with him for a little bit. Do the round table Wednesday. Talked to my guy CB the other day. He been back and forth up New York, so he said he gonna definitely try to get on soon. Cheese, fromage. My man was out of the country. I don't know exactly when he coming back.
Yeah.
But he been out the country. He was going to come on live from location the other night from France somewhere, and we just got the signals tied. Couldn't put it together. But can't wait till he get back. Tell us about his adventures across the water. Hope he enjoyed his trip. I know his birthday was yesterday, so I guess that was his birthday trip. Over there across that water, man. So, the fellas, man, just want to say what's up to all the fellas, everybody that's tuned in throughout this hour and some change, almost 2 hours now. Hey, we was rolling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna do this thing tomorrow, man. It's Haywood Highsmith Jr. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe to the Sports Mix, man. Appreciate y'all. We out.